What is up, folks? Professor Pickles here, coming at you with a different kind of video today. Not gonna be doing a box opening, not gonna be doing a mailroom opening, not really a collection video, even though, I do have some of my reserve list cards, laid out here just to have a backdrop and everything. We're gonna be talking about the a new set that came out, or if you can call it a set, I guess the Secret Lair-esque, extremely high price point Wizards officially printing their own proxies that are worth 10 cents a piece, but they're selling them for $1,000. So that's going to be very interesting to see how this all pans out. We're going to kind of talk about this today, talk about what the product is very quickly, and then kind of give some of my opinions on the legal ramifications for this, if there are any, how this might affect the prices of current reserve list cards that are being reprinted, what this means for the future of the reserve list. So yeah, and definitely, leave a comment below. I know there's very vastly different opinions on all sides of the argument for the reserve list and even for this product. So let me know, whether you're for the reserve list, against the reserve list, love this product, hate this product. I want to hear what you guys have to say, and I'm always interested to hear different opinions, or if you agree with me, let me know as well. But let's get right into it here. And before we get into the video, just so you guys know, all these cards you see on this table are not kept at this location. They are kept in a safety deposit box at my local bank. So yeah, just for reference there. All right, so what are they doing? They are reprinting the entire beta set, except for, well, reprinting in quotes. It's not technically reprinting because they're not tournament legal cards they don't have the official Magic back on them, but they're reprinting for all intents and purposes the entire beta set except for the anti cards, which I think there's about 3 or 4 of them, all the previously canceled cards, like Crusade. I think Crusade might be the only canceled card that's in that set, but might be other ones. And then 2 other cards that they're not too much of a fan of these days, which are Earthbound, which I guess kind of has some BDSM vibes in it. Okay, interesting. And Weakness, which, I guess is saying that crippled people are weak. Okay, sure. Whatever, I get it. Yeah, so they're reprinting the entire set. You get 4 packs in this little box they're doing as a Secret Lair kind of sale. They haven't said what the print run is going to be, if it's going to be an unlimited print run, like print to demand, like they have with other Secret Lairs. So that's kind of to be TBD on that one. But it's going to be $1,000 or $999.99 for 4 packs. Now, in those 4 packs, each pack contains 15 cards, 13 cards of modern frame of the old cards, of which 1 will be a rare. Remember, there's no mythics. It was all rares, uncommons and commons back in this day. So 1 will be a rare, 3 will be uncommon, 7 will be common, and then you'll get 2 basic lands as well, which, like, come on, for $250 a pack, I mean, maybe they could have included like 2 rares or something, but hey, whatever floats their boat, right? And they got to make the biggest buck. And then, besides that, there'll be 1 basic land in the retro frame, 1 random card in retro frame, and then 1 token, which I think is actually 16 cards, but they don't count the token, I guess. So yeah, that's what's going to be in these packs. They've said that the dual lands, which you can see some of here, which are obviously extremely sought after for Commander and everything like that. Again, you go buy them on eBay for 50 cents and, you don't have to buy these $1,000 proxies. The dual lands are going to be twice the rate. So they said 3 out of every 10 packs will have a dual land in it. I mean, and we're just talking from a value perspective. If on average per box, you're going to get hopefully 1 on average per 4-pack box of a dual land. If your dual land is a plateau, you're paying $1,000 for a fake plateau, which you could buy a real one for like what, 300 or 400. Interesting. Makes a lot of sense, right? And of course, all these cards are not going to be legal for tournament play. Now, I mean, we'll get into later in the video if that actually matters in this day and age. Hint, I don't think it does, to be honest, because we'll get into it. But yeah, so that's kind of the basic synopsis of what this set's going to include and what comes in it and everything. Now let's talk about a few of the big topics that are surrounding this. So when you talk about the reserve list and breaking the reserve list, there's always been a discussion around, if Wizards of the Coast breaks the reserve list, all these collectors and quote-unquote investors are gonna sue Wizards of the Coast for promissory estoppel. You know, they made a promise that people then put money into. They have financial assets tied into this promise that they made. So theoretically, if Wizards breaks that promise, they could see legal ramifications for it. Now, do I really think that's going to happen? Do I think there will be people trying to do lawsuits? Probably, honestly. You know, there's a lot of people out there who have big investments in the reserve list and everything. So I think, yes, there will be attempts to do a lawsuit. Do I think any of them will be successful? Most likely not. Even if Wizards had just gone and straight up reprinted the reserve list, full tournament legal, you know, regular backs on the Magic cards, everything like that, I still don't know if these lawsuits would be able to hold up. It's such a gray area, and you know, really would just be up to the judge that here's the case. But in this case, because you know, the official Wizards policy is pretty ambiguous, it does leave room for them to do things like this. In their actual policy, it explicitly states that the reserve list only applies to tournament legal cards. Now, since these are proxies, and Wizards is even using that term now, proxy, which is crazy because before that used to be such a dirty word at Wizards of the Coast, and now they're just using it freely and everything. I guess when, you know, you get paid $1,000 to print, you know, 60 cards, you kind of change your mindset on things. But yeah, so it's only for tournament legal cards. And, you know, being that Commander is the most popular format, and I haven't seen personally a Commander group besides maybe outside of the most try-hard and devoted CEDH players who don't already allow proxies. You know, most people I play with proxy in their dual lands. They proxy in, you know, whatever, even regular modern cards that they just don't have. And nobody cares. It doesn't matter. The vast majority of Magic players these days don't play in tournament-sanctioned events. They might go to an F&M, do a draft, do a standard event. But, you know, when they're playing Commander and playing Tabletop, people aren't buying these cards to, you know, it doesn't matter that they're not tournament legal. You know, and large tournaments for the most part. Now, I'm hoping this changes. You know, the Magic 30 event is going to be really cool. I'm going to be there, by the way. Too bad you guys don't know what I look like. Maybe you'll be able to see me there, but you never know. You know, I'm hoping tournament play comes back. I'm hoping they bring back Magic Fest and everything like that. But for the time being, and from what they've said, it doesn't seem like they're going to. So, you know, the not tournament legal thing, I don't think it really matters too much. And yeah, that's kind of my take on that. Now, Mark Rosewater has said very different things from the official Wizards of the Coast policy. I believe you can go on Reddit and you can see people have like tagged all of his posts and everything on there and brought up all the links. But, you know, multiple times over the past 10, 15 years, he has made comments about the reserve list that differ actually pretty substantially from the actual Wizards of the Coast policy. I believe around 2013 or so, he was saying on his blogalog or blogatog, whatever it's called, that, you know, about gold, if he was asked if gold bordered cards, reprinting cards with a gold border on the back or on the front, which is essentially what they're doing here, would be a breach of the reserve list. And he said, yes, it would. And then, unfortunately, in his words, they would not be able to do that. Now, obviously, things have changed since then, and you know, they've kind of backtracked here. Now, this obviously doesn't make Wizards of the Coast or Mark Rosewater look good. You know, I definitely do not envy him right now. I would not want to be in his shoes right now. I'm sure he's getting a lot of you know, a lot of people probably sending him hate mail, all that kind of stuff, which I definitely do not think you should do. He's a person. You know, he's just, you know, trying to do, I think, what's best for the game, even though some people might not think that's what's happening. I think at the end of the day, Mark Rosewater is looking out for the game. Now, Hasbro, on the other hand, that's another story. I think they're looking out for their pocketbook. But don't get mad at Mark Rosewater for this. It's not his fault. He was just, you know, going with the information he had at the time. And in 15 years, a lot can change, as we've seen with many, many things in our world. Things have changed a lot in just the last 2 years. So yeah, you know, while this may complicate things, you know, what he says at the end of the day does not matter. What he says as a quote-unquote spokesperson of the company is not official company policy. The official company policy on the reserve list is what they've had since, you know, they changed the whole thing. I'm not sure when it was, but back when they were doing the judge promos and the from the vaults, when they changed that loophole in the reserve list, that's the official Wizards of the Coast policy for the reserve list right now. Now, how will this affect the prices of the reserve list cards that are being reprinted? In quotes there. Now, honestly, the only cards that I really see this having, and maybe even not, this is just like, if it's going to have an effect on some cards, these are the ones I think it might, is the revised dual lands. Now, personally, I have a decent size revised dual lands. I got two sets of them and everything, so, I'm not too jazzed about that, but whatever, at the end of the day, you take a risk, and that's what happens. But, the reason I think the revised duals might be seeing a little bit of a retracement in price is, one, obviously they've gone up so much in the past, 2 to 4 years or so. It's kind of crazy how much they've gone up in price, how quickly. And, most of the people using revised dual lands are using them for commander. And, those people will, a lot of them may just, instead of, going and buying a real revised dual, they'll go and buy one of these proxies off the secondhand market. Now, who knows how much these Wizards of the Coast sanctioned proxies will actually be worth or going for. I mean, at $250 a pack, they probably won't be going for much less than that, to be honest. So maybe it won't affect the price at all. Maybe it will. I don't know. But that's really the only ones I see it affecting. Like something like a Black Lotus or a Power 9. Anybody who's buying one of those, first of all, you can't even play those in Commander, so it doesn't matter. They're banned. If you're playing it in Vintage or Legacy, you're not going to be able to use the proxies for those because they're not tournament legal. And I mean, I don't know many Magic stores that do even Vintage or Legacy. Can you play these in Legacy? I don't know. Whatever. One of the formats you can play them in, right? I don't play those. It's way too rich for my blood. But I think the vast majority of those events only happen at Magic Fest and things like that, where you're not going to be able to use the proxies anyways. It doesn't matter. They're going to do deck checks and make sure you have all the real cards to be able to play in it. So people aren't going to be buying them for that. They're literally just going to be pretty much for collectors' items, I guess you could say. And anybody who wants to buy a Black Lotus or a Mox or anything like that is not going to want some proxy that Wizards printed that doesn't even look like the real thing. It has, it's not even the full artwork. It's like a cropped version of the artwork for some of them. They're going to want, the original ones, the ABU ones, Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, that are actual museum quality pieces that, are a piece of history. Whether, anybody wants to argue if that should have value or not, that's up for debate, I guess you could say. But at the end of the day, Magic is like one of the first ever trading card games, and it does have a lot of history, and in only its short 30-year lifespan now, it's made a huge impact on the world of collectibles and everything like that. So I don't see, the prices, maybe in the short run, they'll come down a little bit from people panic selling and everything like that. But all the big whales and big investors are just going to buy up all of that. And, 2 or 3 years from now, we won't even remember that, this came out. They'll be, they'll still have some value. I would imagine, the Black Lotus from this new set will probably be worth, couple thousand bucks maybe. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Just like the collector's edition Black Lotus and the international collector's edition Black Lotus still have value. Now, it's nothing like the actual tournament legal original printings of it from Alpha, Beta, Unlimited, but yeah, that's kind of my take there. Now, in conclusion here, obviously a lot of people are like, oh, don't buy this set, it's terrible, it's ruining Magic, or don't buy this set, it's canceling the reserve list, I love the reserve list, or don't buy this set, it's so expensive, it's just ridiculous. All that doesn't matter. We all know this set's going to sell out instantly. Whether they make it if they do like an unlimited printing, then God help us, they're going to sell so many of these that they'll probably just reprint every set in Proxy version that has reserve list cards in it. But I imagine it's probably not going to be unlimited. I think that it will have a limited supply to it in some respect, whether they say how much that is or not. But it's going to sell out. There's 0% chance that people veto this product and don't buy it at the end of the day. So yeah, Hasbro's going to make a really quick buck. I personally think this is very bad for the future of Magic. And, this product doesn't make anybody happy. It doesn't make the people who are invested in the reserve list and in favor of the reserve list happy for obvious reasons, for the same arguments they've been having for 30 years now. And it doesn't make the people who are wanting a reserve list gone happy either. At $250 a pack, it's not making these cards any more accessible to the average person. The average person is still better off to go on eBay and buy their, proxy for 50 cents from overseas and then call it a day from there. So really, this product doesn't help anybody. It's not really for the investors and the collectors, and it's not for the average player either. So it's really, at the end of the day, just for Wizards to make a quick buck. I should say Hasbro. It's probably coming from Hasbro, let's be honest. It's really just for them to make a quick buck and, you know, line their pocketbooks and have a good quarter next year to boost up their stock price a bit more. Which I guess more power to them, right? That's America, whether we hate it or love it. Personally, I'm not a huge fan. But yeah. So, you know, vast majority of people opening this product for 1K a pop are not going to be very happy with what they get. You know, when you open a pack for $250 and you get a Shivan Dragon in it, reprinted, that's the original version's only, I mean, the original alpha version's worth quite a bit, but you know, it'll be worth $10 and you're going to be $240 down the drain and have a nice, you know, at least you'll have a nice retro framed basic land though, right? You can impress all your friends with that. But yeah, that's all for this video, folks. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'm already ready for the flow of hate mail to come in the comment section. I welcome it. Slam that dislike button, whatever you want to do. Or slam the like button if you like what you see. And if you guys want to see more videos kind of like this with the, you know, talking, giving my perspective on the whole market kind of thing, let me know. I'm open to doing this and kind of expanding the breadth of the channel. But thanks so much for watching, folks. I'll see y'all in the next one.